Hi, this is Percy. I'm going to be your teacher in this opportunity. So in this class, we're going to talk about the past simple. Probably an interesting topic. Many people think that this is difficult, but it is not difficult if you pay attention, of course, and at the same time, if you practice a lot. This topic is going to be very short because it's a model class, but in other cases, probably it takes one or two classes depending the frequency and also depend on the student's level. So this opportunity, we're going to talk about the regular verbs. The verbs are defined in two types, regular and irregular verbs. They are called regular verbs because they follow a rule. Regular. Regular seems like regla. Ellos tienen un patrón muy común. They have a common pattern, a regular pattern. And this is that most of the verb ends in ed. So let's get started talking about the definition of the past simple. We use the past simple to talk about things that happen in the past. When we talk about the past simple, we're talking about activities that they don't have any influence and they don't have any action in the present. All of this action happened in the past. For example, if we need to do a timeline, una línea del tiempo, okay, we can create this like this. This is our timeline. Okay, this is the present, the past, and the future. So in this case, the past simple is here. It's an action that happened in the past that don't have any influence in the present. Okay, for example, let's analyze this in Spanish. If I say, yo jugué fútbol el día de ayer. When I say that, it means that the action happened in the past and I am not playing here soccer anymore. So that's the thing in past simple. The action has happened in the past and it doesn't have any influence or any consequence in the present. It's simple to understand, right? But the thing is, when we analyze this, the time expressions, the time expressions are going to help us to understand when the action is happening. In this case, the first time expression is yesterday. Yesterday, which is in Spanish, ayer. Obviously, when you listen the word ayer, sabes que la acción no sucedió en el pasado. Other expressions that are necessary and probably very common when we use past simple are last week, or probably last month, or probably last year. For example, teacher, I graduated from university last year. It means that you are not studying anymore, or probably you're studying master's degree, but you are not studying your major anymore, and you did it. You did it the last year. Other popular expression is ago, but the thing with ago is that it usually comes at the end of the sentence, al final de la oración. For example, a year ago, I studied English 2 years ago. Ago, it means that you study English hace 2 años. Estudiaste inglés hace 2 años. So that's the word ago. It usually comes at the end of the sentence. Then we have the word before, obviously, before in Spanish is atrás. Um, when you listen this word, you are obviously related with the past simple, and also you can mention the year. Okay. For example, if you mention the year 2010, we know that this is in the past. So we are using past simple. So that's what I mentioned at the beginning, the regular verbs. Most of them are very easy to identify because they finish with ed, ed. It doesn't mean that all the verbs end in ed, but also they have some rules. But let's get started about the pronunciation because if you're a beginner, if you are a one student, probably you're going to make mistake with the pronunciation and you're going to pronounce this like play it. But the thing is that the pronunciation is played, it, played. She played, you played, we played. And also it's probably kind of difficult to understand that because uh, we're not familiarized with the pronunciation, right? So that's a meeting with it. So, and also we have these rules. Those are the spelling rules in order to use the regular verbs in a proper way. Let's get started with infinitive. For example, it says, if we have a vowel plus y at the end of the verb, you're going to add only ed. For example, in this case, we have enjoy. Enjoy ends with O, which is a vowel, plus Y, let's use a pencil, just a second, plus Y, that is a consonant. When you have this situation, you can only add ed at the end of the sentence. This other rule is very particular because it says if you have a consonant plus Y, You have to eliminate Y, you have to eliminate delete it, and you can add IED. Just the thing with the study. For example, D is a consonant and Y, which is a word mentioned before. So we fulfill the rule, and as I mentioned before, you have to eliminate Y and you have to add IED. Style it. Okay, so as you can see, it's very important to analyze each verb before taking a decision, before adding only ed. It's necessary to analyze if we have other rules. In consequence, we can modify the verb as you can see here. This rule is very important. It's not as difficult to understand, but you need to pay attention in order to get it. And it says that first of all, you need to analyze if the verb has one syllable. For example, stop. Stop has one syllable. Bad has one syllable. So if you have this first condition done, it's all right. We can apply this rule. And also the second part of this rule says you need one vowel, one consonant at the end of the sentence. I prefer calling consonant, oops, vowel, consonant. Teacher, I don't understand. I'm collapsing, no problem. So you need to analyze the last three letters of the word. For example, T is a consonant, consonant, check. O is a vowel, check. And P is a consonant, check. Consonant, vowel, consonant. If you have this condition, what the rule says is that you have to double the last consonant. In this case, stop. And the last consonant is P. So you need to copy, you need to double the last consonant. And at the end, you need to add E. Let's analyze the next word, which is bat. Bat is a short word. It has one syllable, bat, one syllable, and it finishes in consonant. B is a consonant, A, which is a vowel, and T, a consonant. So when you have this condition, you need to add the last consonant. The last consonant is, yes, you got it, it's T. Okay, so you need to copy T here, and at the end, you're going to add ED. So this rule is called the consonant vowel consonant rule. It's one of my favorite rules because you can apply it not only in past simple, you can apply it in superlative, comparatives, and also in other topics related to grammar. So it's very a useful rule. The other rule is very interesting. Which is double consonant plus ET. I do understand, teacher. For example, in this case, two syllable with a stress on the second syllable. Let's analyze this word, permit. Permit, okay? Permit. It has two syllables, and the stress is in the second word. Remember, the stress is the intonation, the rise intonation. Lo que para nosotros sería el uso de tilde. To permit, and the second syllable has the stress. And ending in a single consonant, there are three conditions. Ending in a single consonant. This consonant is T. So you need to double the last consonant, the same situation that the third rule, sorry, and add ET. Okay, this is not a very common rule because it's not often that a word finishes in a consonant. It's not very often. So probably you're going to see these cases in a 20% of the situations, mostly, no more than this, because they are not very often to see, right? So to finish, we're going to analyze the next part. For example, we're going to see some examples. Tom phoned his best friend. Okay, as you can see, this is a common rule. This is the regular rule. We are not going to apply in any of the last rules we have seen before. And that's what I want to see, the negative, okay? Probably this topic is a little bit confused because you're not familiar with the verbs. But what I want to show you is that in negative is very easy. It's actually quite easy. Why? Because you're going to see the auxiliary didn't, and it is going to help and support all your problems. For example, let's analyze the structure. Subject plus didn't plus the verb or infinitive in the regular form. It means in the way you know the verb. Tal cual como conoces al verbo en su forma original. For example, I didn't play, I don't know, soccer. Okay, as you can see, the verb is in the regular form. It doesn't change anything. No I'm supposed to play it. Why? Because there is an auxiliary that make all your job and is going to help you to do the sentence quickly and easier than in positive. It's a clear thing, right? It's a clear thing. When you think about negative, probably you're going to analyze that this is probably something confused and difficult, but it's not like this. In negative, the sentences are easier to do. For example, in this case, I didn't study for math class. Let's analyze the first sentence and then the second one. We're finishing with this class. I didn't study. So the question for you is, study is in the regular form, is in the base form, or does it have any modification? Right? It's in the base form, okay? It's in the base form. It's in the form you know, en la forma en que tú conoces el verbo. So, but don't forget that if you want to do this, the sentence might be in negative or probably in question because you have an auxiliary and the auxiliary verb is didn't. Teacher, what is an auxiliary? Okay, we can analyze this in another class. It's very important to know that the auxiliary facilitates the sentence and makes you easier, all right? Okay, so we need to analyze this as soon as possible. And at the end, you're going to see that if you want to make the sentences in positive, okay, it's necessary to modify the verb. But to do this, you need to analyze the regulars and the irregular verbs. And this is a long topic we're going to analyze in another opportunity. So I hope you like this class and I hope I can see you in another opportunity. Thank you so much for your attention. That's me. Have a nice day. Bye bye.